Good evening. I'd like to welcome everybody to the Stormwater Bylaw Committee meeting for Tuesday, February 10th at 6 p.m.
Thank you.
In attendance, Les Stevens,
Margaret Bacon.
Jacob Schultzberg.
Carol Gogolinski.
Mike Swooker.
Colin here.
Okay, cool. All right, first item on the agenda is just the minutes for the 27th. So I think it was, had a good little quorum. I know folks were excused traveling. Some people were in Florida.
Yes, which was a better place than here.
It wasn't 30 degrees anymore?
I'm not sure.
No, it was,
I'm not sure what made you get back on the plane to come here. Hey, with that good weather. So, so we get the minutes. We can look these over. And
Number 4, next steps. The Attorney General's office rejected a portion, and so they're rejected.
Oh, okay.
okay, cool. Good catch. That line looks a little weird, but I think it's correct. But it's late summer, late last year, late this year.
Oh.
I'm trying to think of late.
There's a lot going on.
I will take out later.
Okay. Just kind of, but other than that, I think it was the bylaw was clean.
Yep.
And yeah, we went to 7:32. So
We started late.
yeah,
Yep.
yeah, that's good.
Oh, that's great.
Oh yeah. Hey, I almost was in that boat because we're so used to starting at 7 o'clock.
I know.
So,
We need a motion?
yeah, entertain a motion.
Motion to accept the minutes of January 27th, 2026 as amended.
Second.
Motion by Mike, seconded by Jake. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
I'm going to abstain because I wasn't
2
here.
abstains from Colin and Carol. Good to go. Next item is to review the draft of the stormwater regs.
So basically, we've gotten through the whole thing on first, and so this meeting, since we do have to go back to town meeting with an amendment to delete a sentence that the Attorney General rejected at May, we can't formally adopt these regulations because we don't formally have a bylaw until it goes back to the Attorney General again after town meeting. So, so what we discussed at the last meeting is this meeting was going to be used to look at the whole bylaw that we've discussed to date, and if there are any lingering comments, questions, changes to make, then we can make them and kind of get it fine-tuned, because, again, we can't do anything with this until later this year anyway, so.
Yeah.
The regulations.
Yes, the regulations, yeah.
And we'd still have, I think then we would pass it to the planning board for their review and input, and then we'd still come back here for our final. So we'd still have.
But we have time to do that.
Yeah, we got time to do that. We just have two. You know what I mean? So it's not going to be like a rush review. So even if we look at it and just say, okay, but what we
So
hear.
let me throw something at you. Could it be set up whereas, let's say the planning board takes it, gives a thumbs up, we have a thumbs up, because that means we need to leave the committee open. Or do we make a vote where this is what we want, and upon approval of the bylaw, this will become good at the same time?
The planning board would have to, once we finalize it, my vision of this is,
Once everything's good, we could disband.
We
right?
disband because it goes to the planning board and then they adopt it.
Okay. That's all, I'm just checking on how we could.
I would leave it open.
There's no sense in keeping this board open if this is all approved.
No,
Right.
no.
If we're good with it.
They
right?
can't adopt it until the bylaw goes through.
Correct.
Right,
And then they can then say, hey, it's all ready to go. Boom.
yeah.
So basically, it could be put on an upcoming planning board agenda here in the next month or so to take a look at it and for an initial discussion.
Yeah.
And then the planning board could say, yeah, okay, in general, we agree with this.
Right.
Let's put it aside, and then put it back on an agenda later this year once the
Bylaw
attorney-
comes, the actual bylaw comes back.
Yeah.
Because if it's approved in May, it'll be about 90 days later, so we're probably talking August.
We hope. The last time
I know.
it
But
went out
we
a little bit, quite a
yeah.
little bit later than that.
If the planning board gives it through and says, hey, ideally, if the planning board reviews it, let's say in their March meeting, first March meeting, if they review it and say, hey, come back with comments, we can then review the comments.
Right.
Gives us a second review of it.
Yeah.
We can say, oh, hey, we found this mistake, that mistake. And then at that point, we incorporate all the comments in there. and then we can disband from there, because then
Right, yeah.
the rev version goes to the planning board.
Just instead of keeping this open,
Yeah.
like you said, exactly.
Yeah,
Have them review it. If there's no issues, then we can meet one time to disband.
Right.
If there is issues, go over it, send it back, and get it all cleared up so it's done.
So we've already done number 4, discussion of next steps.
Yeah,
yeah.
which is good, yeah,
Oh,
I'm
yeah.
just saying.
Yeah, because I think giving the planning board time to look through it, you know what I mean, and let them, one, receive it,
Yeah.
to get back by the next, their comments to John in 2 weeks or whatever, and then we meet after that with any of our comments and our review.
And it's gonna help the planning board, 2 of us are here, John's here.
Yeah.
The planning board's gonna know that this committee looked at everything,
Yeah.
thoroughly looked through everything, researched stuff, and it shouldn't take long once it's.
Yeah, because I think last time I think when we did the bylaw, Mike and
Yeah,
I
I think
presented
the
before
planning
you
board
guys.
had, I think for one,
Yeah.
because that was a public hearing, that went through,
Yep.
and that was kind of it at that time, really.
Yeah, the bylaw had to go through FinCom and Concom.
Right,
and
but I'm
that
saying,
was-
but we also had to have a public hearing on it.
Yeah, you don't need.
And we took care of what bylaw we did, not this.
Yeah.
And it went real well.
This you don't have to have a public hearing, but it has to be on your agenda.
Right, yeah.
So
Oh, cool.
it's cool. Yeah,
Yeah.
because I know Margaret had a bunch of edits and never like
A
that.
lot of
but-
red. It's a lot of red.
I did, so what we should do is just go
Yeah.
one page at
Yeah,
a time,
yeah,
and see if
let's do
anybody
it.
else has comments.
go.
Okay.
Yeah, we went through it with a thick comb, now we can move.
Yeah,
There you go.
Cool.
Page 1, I got nothing.
Yay!
You sure?
We're cooking with gas now.
Anybody on page 1?
Oh, page 1, yes, purpose. I had a thought. That was just a question.
Yeah.
What was in the last 2 meetings, but, do you think we need to reference in the bylaw? I mean, in the regulation? It has the numbers, like, so in there, in this section here, it says these regulations hereby promulgated the cost of Stormwater bylaw, nothing in regulations has replaced local regulations and requirements of the bylaw, subdivision regulations, or any other town bylaw. But if you look at the purpose of the bylaw, it's similar to that, but should be consistent with 1, 2, 3, 4, all the subsections of that bylaw.
I think it should remain more general, because if you start being specific, what if you miss something?
Because this is just regulations.
Yeah.
That's bylaw, that's why it's more specific.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This is just regs, so it's a general purpose. At least that's the way I feel. I mean, I could be wrong.
Yeah, I think we thinned it out.
Right,
This,
right.
this lives under the bylaw.
Okay.
I mean-
Fine, it runs simultaneously.
Yeah, I mean, the only thing that could be interpreted on the purpose and stuff like that, right? Where this could get sticky and stuff like that is, none of these regulations intended to replace, right? Or, derogate the requirements of the zoning bylaws, zoning regs, or any other town bylaw or regs. I don't know if we've ever had, and/or any other bylaw. So, or regs. So that's my only kind of open item, like the or any other bylaw. I understand zoning bylaws and I understand subdivision rules and regs, but you need the other two pieces in there of town bylaws or regs. Because then what that's saying is that, let's say someone else has a reg that they create, that other reg would trump this reg. So, I mean, Board of Health has a reg, blah, blah, blah. Then would that reg trump, this reg in any way? I always try to keep it with like zoning bylaws and subdivision, but what do we do? I can highlight it and we can pick it up later, but, give everybody a chance to chew on that, you know what I mean? Do we keep that line in, or what's the deal? That's all. I don't want to get into the weeds of it. I know we got a lot of things to go through tonight. I'm just going to question whether we want that line in or not. Effective date and stuff like that, number 3, I think that's all good. I don't, the effective date of the regulations. I think the effective date is upon the planning board vote. I think what's here with the effective date is actually tied to like a bylaw versus when the planning board votes and says we adopt this.
Yeah, that makes sense to me.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Does that, you know what I mean?
It's basically whatever you want it to be.
No. I'm just trying to think. When the planning board holds a meeting and they say, "Hey, we updated the reg and we vote it," that's when it's adopted. So I'm just.
But it's not official until it's filed with the town clerks, correct? Isn't that what makes it official?
But
It has to be followed with the clerk.
correct. But I think the step would be that. I would kick it off, say, upon the planning board's vote.
The vote, it can't go to the clerk unless there's a vote to the planning board.
Yeah, I don't want to make this too
Okay.
complicated.
I know,
Right.
it's,
No,
I would take out "and the community development department" because that means nothing.
Okay.
yeah.
All right.
That doesn't really mean anything. It's the town clerk's office.
Okay.
So,
the
I mean,
timestamp.
can
That's
I
cool.
make it to the town clerk?
I'm just, I don't. This is part of the review. I don't want to get in the weeds either. You know what I mean? So if we're good with that, we're good with that.
Yeah.
Okay. Cool. I think the definitions. I think
That's
John's done a great job of bringing those all over from the bylaw. We can do a review between the bylaw and everything.
That's good.
That was a lot of.
copy and paste.
No, getting the right getting the right
Well,
copy,
I
getting the
know.
right copy before you bring it all up.
So,
Yeah.
You know. So John's past the thing you inherited.
Yeah.
Not everything was there, so we worked on making sure everything was good. There,
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. No, just making sure we have the right version.
Yep. Number 5, administration.
Hold it. Where are you? Page 5?
Well,
Page 4.
Page
Page 4.
He's
item
talking about
5.
sections
Okay.
5. Section 5.
Yep. I figured we didn't have to go through all the definitions.
Oh, you're
we
right,
could
you're right.
recheck all those on our
Read
own.
those to death.
Yeah.
What page we on now? Page 5?
Page 4. Sorry, page 4, number
Item,
5.
We're going by the items. Yeah.
Okay, number 5, okay.
Margaret, I see you have something circled on there. Is there a question you have?
Oh, this is on
6.
6.
Oh, okay. All right. Sorry.
All right. Any concerns with 5? We're good.
Good.
Yeah, and only, I know this keeps getting
Go ahead.
getting brought up, so
Yeah.
the map, it's February 2025, that is the map, correct?
Yeah.
Didn't we have discussions about whether we wanted to leave that date in there or not?
We did.
We did.
It's in the bylaw.
It's in the bylaws, so which
So
is
we-
tied.
So,
That's the
okay,
same.
okay, so,
Which is good that it's tied here too.
sure,
Yeah,
okay.
that's all.
That's it?
It's important. So when one changes, it asks for the town meeting, and then they can change their regs
Okay.
to which is good.
Yeah.
So, all right. So John, in number 6, I think it's the second sentence towards the end. It says in here, section 5B of this bylaw.
Oh, okay.
Oh, good one.
Sorry, I'm just.
There's no 5B.
Okay. I'm gonna have to check because that.
I would, if you want, you
Oh,
could say
that's
in this.
bylaw, hold on.
Correct. But just
Supposed to be the bylaw.
correct, but it wouldn't be.
Oh, just keep it under this bylaw and keep it general.
I would just say.
Oh, it is 5. It's actually 6B because exemptions are listed, so it's
6B
6B.
in the regs.
Yeah,
Oh, of these regulations.
Correct.
That's right. Yeah.
Sorry, 6B.
yeah. 6B of the regs.
Okay. You go with that?
Yeah, 6B of the regs, the change it.
Oh,
Change it
yeah.
to regs.
Of regs, and it has to be 6B.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
And these are all the regs that we've gone through.
Yeah.
I keep looking over at Margaret to see where she's starting her regulations.
Oh, she's got.
Not yet. I'm like, here we go. We got about one more page
You're
before.
good for a little
I
bit.
don't know. Just watch out. She might break out the highlighter too.
This is like being in school again.
I do. Hey,
They're not
you know,
bad.
it's good that she's done.
Just fine tune it.
That's why we have a variety of people on the board.
100%. It's all good stuff. Number 6. Are we all good with 6? Because that's we can just take a look and recheck that. But that's the only changes I think I came across. I think all the exemptions are there that we've covered. We can just Took a re-gander of those. Number 7,
Mm-hmm.
permit procedures.
And we agreed on 7B3. We want to notify all the abutters within 300 feet.
Well,
Well, that's certainly consistent with like special permits and things.
I think that's the trigger with special permit.
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't think because the bylaw acts as a special permit,
Right.
right? So I don't know if we could. I mean, I think that's what it is for 300.
Yeah, just imagine it. So
I know it can be a big.
Yeah.
I've seen where, I've had the like 20, depends on how thickly,
Depends where you are in
thickly
town.
or
That's correct.
thin or whatever it
That's
is.
correct.
Next you know, you got 27 freaking mailers to send out.
Yeah, going to be up.
Yeah. So.
All right.
I just, on 7A, second line down,
Oh.
it doesn't really matter, but there's a dot before PDF.
Yeah, that's it, because it's an
Okay.
extension. It's a
Okay.
file extension, yeah. So,
Okay,
yeah, that's intentional.
7A?
and a dot PDF, okay.
Yes.
All right.
Yep.
Yeah, so back to the notifying the abutters.
Yep. What's your thought?
So on the first sentence of page 6, that we have to notify all the planning boards of the adjacent towns.
Oh.
This is actually something that's in Chapter 48 of Mass General Law. That's a requirement for special permits when you have a special permit, or even when we do subdivisions, we always notify the planning boards in adjacent towns.
Okay.
That's actually a state law.
Really?
Okay.
On any special permit?
Yes.
No, I'm just.
Yeah.
No.
Believe me,
No.
wherever I've been, we always get stuff from abutting towns. Most of the time, we don't comment on it because obviously we're not in the business of commenting on, say a special permit for someone who wants to do a special permit use in the center of town, unless it's a major project right on the town line, like
Correct.
a 40B project or a
Well,
large subdivision
When we
that's
had
going to
the wind
affect us.
turbine project.
Yeah, something like
Over the
that.
Webster line,
99% of the time, we don't do anything with them.
and you always see them posted out in the hall from other towns.
I 100% get it when it's like 40B on the neighboring thing, or subdivision, right? We just had the subdivision that was up on Church Street, and and then another project that was on town lines and stuff like that. So, I get that. I'd love. If you know what the state law is, I'd like to know just from my knowledge. I'm just not familiar. John, I don't need it right now.
No, that's fine. I feel
Chapter 48.
I think it's section, might be section 5.
40A, section 5.
MGL, chapter 40.
I like to learn something new. That's it. I never, I get it. You can see, we had to deal with multi-towns.
Oh, no,
and
it's
stuff like
chapter 5 is adoption or change of zoning ordinances, so let me find it.
that. Okay. Yeah, no rush. Whatever. You probably have it somewhere. Okay, notification of national heritage and beasts within established habitats. That's standard stuff. Number 5 there. Number 6.
Oh, yeah, how about number 4?
What's number 4?
So a list of requested waivers if applicable, yada yada, and then at the end, it's not necessary to meet the purposes and objectives of the regulations, and is not an undue hardship to the owner. Do we want to include that to give,
Yeah, because it's going to go before the planning board, so you want to give the discretion of them.
so I'm just saying at the end of 4, is not an undue hardship to the owner. Do we want to include that? That just,
It gives them a little more leeway
Yeah.
what they can do.
Yeah.
So I say
think we've been,
yeah.
and I think as a community we've been,
Yeah,
and it's always, and then it's at the discretion of the planning board.
right.
You know what I mean? If they make it's a hardship case, so when they can make a hardship case, I
Right.
agree we should add that.
Yeah.
What's that, Les?
So at the end of number 4, Margaret brought up a great point.
What, number 4? Section 4?
Hold
where are you, Les?
Hold on.
Top of the page.
Section 7?
Oh, 6? Okay.
Yeah.
All right, what are you adding?
Number 4 at the end. Go ahead, Margaret.
is not an undue hardship to the owner.
Demonstrate that strict is not
Just
an
given-
undue hardship.
Yeah,
making it a little more flexible, that's all.
and clearer. Because there's a thing with special permits that you have to sometimes demonstrate the hardship and stuff like that. And so
Correct.
with special permits, so I get that. Yeah, that's
Section 11.
because you already talked about the next one, which is the endangered species and wetlands and stuff like that, so, which would be reasons for a board to grant a special permit. So, cool.
And then on number 6.
So, hold on, Margaret, I found it, it's section 11.
Oh.
So basically, section 11, under notice requirements for public hearings, parties and interests defined. Part of the parties of interest, as used in this chapter, shall mean the petitioner, abutters, owners of land directly opposite on any public or private street or way, and abutters to the abutters within 300 feet of the property line of the petitioner as they appear on the most recent applicable tax list. Notwithstanding that the land of any such owner is located in another city or town, the planning board of the city or town and the planning board of every abutting city or town is considered party in interest.
Okay.
Of every abutting?
Yep, every adjacent city and town is considered a party in
Okay,
interest for a
they have to
special
be
permit.
within the 300 feet of the
No.
permit?
No,
No,
Okay.
it's a town of butts.
yeah,
Oh, really?
yeah. So they consider parties in interest.
Yeah.
I don't know why. I don't make the laws.
Random question, do they, does that also consider Barrowville, Rhode Island, like another,
Yes.
another state?
Yeah, doesn't matter across the state boundaries too.
I would have, yeah. I'm curious what the interpretation is on that.
Now, if you guys thought that was too much and you wanted to take it out, that would be fine. I mean, it's kind of, I feel like what I do sometimes is selling insurance. So if you want to take a risk, if someone wants to appeal,
I just take it as when you do your 300-foot radius, right? And I'll give you the example. Let's say I do a 300-foot radius, and next you know there's 3 parcels in Sutton,
Yep.
for example. I would interpret that section and that thing that, oh, you have to notify people even if they're in the other town. Not because they're in your 300-foot radius, that you'd have to note.
Oh, yeah.
That's
Oh, I understood.
That's how I would interpret it.
but like I said, that's everywhere town I've been. I always get stuff from the ZBAs and the planning boards and Concoms and other towns sending them to our towns.
Oh,
For pretty much everything. I've gotten stuff for someone who wants to do an accessory dwelling unit, like when I was in Rutland, I get stuff from like right in the center of Holden that's going before the ZBA. So I can tell you that's how it's been
I just feel like
executed.
that's just
Well,
yeah.
Yeah, a lot of administrative work.
A lot of opening up an envelope that you're like, okay, yeah, great, it's in the third town.
So
More paperwork.
when I was in Stoughton, they used to want me to log in and keep every single copy of every single notice we get and bring it to the planning board. So if they want to comment on it, most towns I've worked for, they said use your judgment. If you think it needs to come before us, it'll come before us. So that's the way I've always. That's the way I've treated it. Is unless it's a significant development that's going to affect Douglas, that's on our town border. What do we care if someone's doing an accessory dwelling unit near the town center in Sutton? You know, it doesn't affect us. That's the balancing act. Is we're not we're not trying to interfere with other towns' business.
Let me. I'm. That's great. I appreciate the section. I want to just ask a few other people of like that deal in these Section 40 stuff like that. I'd be curious because sometimes you think about it. Like, for example, let's say we're always notifying Webster. It's like, hey, come on. Hey, thanks a lot for the 12 pieces of mail about you redoing your downtown.
Thank you for the recycling.
Yeah, you know what I mean? So, and then we get people that want to save trees. So, you know what I mean? No, that's good, though. We could definitely chew on it and stuff like that. Curious, someone, interpretation from other people and stuff like that. So, all right, let's move forward.
The fact that we have to send ourselves a notification, our own planning board is a party in interest when they're the ones holding the public hearing.
Makes sense of that.
Yeah, believe me. Like I said when we discussed this, I don't agree with the fact that when someone wants a variance or to go 6 inches into the setback, they need to notify everyone within 300 feet. But yet subdivision law, when they do a major subdivision, it's only direct abutters.
Yeah.
That's a more impactful development on the town than someone doing a deck that goes 6 inches into the setback.
I get it. I sit on the ZBA, so
It doesn't make sense.
I sometimes you just want to notify the people that'll bite you versus the guy that's don't. So, so all right. Number C on this.
No, 6.
6. Oh, you're on number 6. Look
So
at
at the very end of that sentence, maybe we should just include that meets the Massachusetts or the Mass Stormwater policy. because that covers everything,
All right.
okay?
What's this one,
Six.
Margaret? Six?
Six,
Okay.
just at the very end, that
Okay.
meets the mass stormwater policy.
All right,
Then
so
we don't
hold on.
have to worry about missing anything.
An
'cause it's-
application, that and a stormwater management report, and you want to add at the end of that sentence?
That meets the mass stormwater policy, or that meets the requirements of the mass stormwater policy.
See, told you, and I'm glad it's in blue instead of red.
Why?
Oh, you got your edits in. I mean, I thought they were all gonna be in red.
She's switching it up.
I'm worried about the other one because
She's lulling us.
you got more red on that. Red on that
There's no
draft.
exclamation point.
She knows we're gonna freak out if we see red. Oh, I'll put it in blue or green, you
No,
know?
because, no, John, this is the latest and greatest
I know.
one, so.
All right. Next, the paragraph after that. I'm good with that paragraph.
It's just administrative.
Straightforward.
Yeah, 14 days is, I think, the required
Yeah.
response, right? Fees.
It really gets this bit where they need to get another registered engineer. If this person's so great, let's just hire him in the first place, you know?
Yeah, no fees.
You got people that are putting stamps on it, then their head is in the noose. Why do they have to be reviewed by somebody else?
I know.
Yeah, the 14 days is really excessive. I know that's standard. We don't usually need 14
No.
days. It never. We don't let it sit there for 14 days.
It's good to have it there though, just
Oh, yeah.
in case
Oh, yeah.
you take vacation or
Yeah.
this or that, falls in that in-between time.
Yeah.
You don't never want to cut it too
Oh, yeah.
short.
You guys are on the planning board. If something like this came through, something fairly simple, would you, and you got a stamped plan from a certified engineer, are you gonna make them pay to hire another person to look that over?
You have to.
Have to.
You don't have to.
Yeah, you do.
Yeah.
Why do you have to?
To protect the
Where does
town.
it say it in the law?
So it's actually why.
Chapter 53G.
That you have to have,
Yeah.
Yeah.
everybody has to.
Can,
No,
yeah.
don't, you can. I'm not saying,
right,
you're
yeah,
saying can. I'm saying, do you have to? Not can you,
If I'm
do
on the
you
board,
have to?
if I'm on the board, I'm gonna have it done. Because I'm not an engineer to understand all the facts that's in front of me.
Well, no, I tell you,
So that's all I'm
when I
saying.
submit stormwater
Yeah.
reports and stuff, I don't mind somebody else reviewing my
Yeah.
stuff.
Well, the thing
It's
is-
like a safety net.
But the
Yeah,
applicant has to
exactly.
pay for that.
It's just
So the
because every-
applicant's paying twice.
That's
Yeah.
correct.
And the stormwater guy that reviews it probably charging more than you did to write it up.
That's true.
Oh, wow.
Sometimes
Which is
they do.
Welcome, as I
So,
say, welcome to the
let-
big city.
And then you wonder
Let-
why.
hold on.
You wonder why there's no affordable in
Carol,
like housing that's not affordable.
let me.
Because it's
let-
putting on stupid prices for no reason.
Hold on. Let me explain to you why this happens.
She might be still on her.
I worked with a guy.
exactly.
I worked with a guy at Old Colony Plan Council. He's the head of transportation engineering, Charles Kilmer. He left and went to Cape Cod Commission and then came back to OCPC. I asked him why. He said because when he went to Old Colony Planning Council, they would get in a plan from Mass DOT to widen a roadway or do something. And Cape Cod being Cape Cod, they would all get together and say, okay, now they have to go out and do all these traffic studies and everything and all this, collect all this data. And they would sit there and say, how can we skew the data to make sure this project doesn't happen? So you could say they put their stamp on it and these numbers are the numbers, but
Doesn't mean
not
anything.
always.
Yeah.
Numbers can be skewed.
Yeah.
So you're not saying that the engineer that's going to review this isn't going to skew things?
You know what they do? This
Yeah.
is the game.
Yeah.
Whether it's stormwater or whether it's traffic.
Right.
The engineer just creates a model, and then he makes these assumptions that.
Right.
And I tell you, you're putting
Fancy words.
Yep.
you're putting a Dunkin' Donuts in. They're going to make these
Yes.
assumptions so that
That favors the project.
That is
Because they're
correct.
working for that developer.
So, that's correct.
That's who they're beholden to.
That's the game.
I see
just-
what you're saying, but what if you were an engineer and someone says, hey, Margaret, do this, you're not a license, you're stamped, you have all your professional requirements and licensure.
That
Why
doesn't
would you-
mean
Why would
nothing.
you design something
Well,
knowing that? wouldn't
Doesn't
work?
mean a thing.
Oh,
Because the customer is always right.
Correct.
no,
I was an engineer, and somebody said.
That's you.
I would say, find another engineer.
Yeah, because your stamp
that's
is
you.
on it.
Stamps on
They're
there.
not
you.
gonna do something that's illegal.
Listen, I can,
They get sued, man.
I can tell you,
That's correct.
I can tell you what.
That's correct.
what-
But I'm just saying, there's some firms that,
Oh, yeah.
you know,
I've
depend on the
seen-
client.
I've seen, no, exactly. I've seen firms put something forward, okay, over the course of my 15 years involved in planning and other boards, put a plan together, knowing that the board, just looking at it on a first pass, was not going to approve it. You know what I mean? Looking at it, go, wait a second, this is not, no, that's not going to make sense. Before it even went out to the engineer. So then it goes to the engineer, and the engineer turns around and goes, no, you got to change, half of these. But the poor applicant, right? The applicant, whether it's a big developer or something like that, they're at the discretion of their own engineer that they hire. And part of maybe their way of getting the business was that they are the lowest cost initial plan submission, but they'll make money off the revisions.
It's,
You know what I mean?
But for instance,
And
when,
you know what I mean?
when a developer
Yeah.
comes in, like when a developer comes in, say a Walmart or something, and they're near an intersection that they think the town may ask them to upgrade, which is very expensive, and they present their traffic study, having done those reports at the regional planning agency level, whenever I've seen an application come in, why they would be tempted to fuzzy the numbers to basically make the level of service look better than it is. So they say, well, we don't need to put a new light in there.
That's correct.
We don't need to widen that. And so see, the level of service is A, the level of service is B. I've looked at traffic studies having done it and said, there's no way in hell the level of service is B there. It's D at best.
Well,
and I've questioned traffic studies I've looked at.
I got a good one right here.
Yeah.
How many contractors are out there that have a license, but they're pieces of what they build every day, right? They're out there everywhere.
Yeah.
Then somebody that's humble and does it right has to come in and fix the guy that already had a license.
Yep.
Right?
Yeah.
Why do you think there's a building inspector? Because there's dirtbags out there that want to cheat the system. And I don't care whether you're an engineer for dirt, for building a house, or what it is. There's always somebody out there that wants to beat the system. Period.
Most
so you need to double check, like you said.
Yeah.
If you're honest, review it. It's done and over, and it's good.
Yeah.
But if you're trying to cheat or mess with somebody, you're gonna get caught.
When people ask me, why does town have this regulation? 9 times out of 10,
Yeah.
it's because before there was a regulation, a developer
We got burned.
found a loophole and drove a tractor-trailer truck through it.
Correct.
And town says, we can't let that happen again. We
got
have to
it.
put a regulation in.
You got it.
So,
Well, back to stormwater.
Yes.
And like I say,
thank you for reeling us in.
it's just a model.
Yeah.
And so when I do stormwater, I'll come up with these assumptions. Now, what if I was wrong with the groundwater?
Exactly.
Well, all my numbers are, that could be an honest mistake.
Correct.
But all my numbers are wrong.
It's so true. And or, hey, they got this new thing out that changes it. I didn't know. There's always somebody that knows something different. too.
Right, right.
And unless you get more than one person involved, you're never going to know it.
Well,
Right?
Yep.
You see that all the time.
Oh, yeah.
Well, even on the stormwater systems and stuff like that, when they innovate and they turn around and go, okay, there's the new chambers, right? You can't even see them, and they're in the ground, and that takes up the water and stuff like that. So you don't even have you can put them below the ponds and stuff like that, or in the parking lot. So they have those.
Bad news.
I'm just saying they have them. They have them. I didn't
Ground
adopt them.
chambers are bad news.
And always remember, normally the person that's afraid to
Underground
have,
chambers, just bad news.
normally the person that's afraid to have this stuff looked at, they're the ones that are trying to hide something.
It's not that you're afraid to have it looked at, but why do you have to pay for it twice, especially doing a single-family
Because
house?
they-
And they wonder why
because an
stuff
engineer
isn't
isn't gonna
affordable.
work for free.
Well, yeah,
Okay.
but you have to get
Okay.
Jesus.
Okay, yeah, let's reel it back in.
I
know that.
We're circling the
I
drain
know.
here.
All right. Good venting, but back on where we are. So we're at the bottom of page 6.
Yes.
We're on fees.
Yeah.
I think we covered, the $300 for the disturbance of 1 acre.
I think
to
we
2
were pretty
acres.
fair on that, because I think
And we went through
Uxbridge's fee schedule was a little bit stricter than this,
Yeah.
a little bit more.
And we actually went through a bunch of went through a bunch of analysis on this and stuff like that. So, and at the end of the day, the applicant's got to pay for the system, but the fees related to it. And there was also in here regarding the fees is that the protection for the planning board regarding their consultant engineer. which is down at the bottom of section D. So should they need more consulting? Page 7, if we're good with that. What?
Just one other, so on the second paragraph, the applicant may appeal the selection of the outside consultant to the Douglas Board of Selectmen, who may disqualify the outside consultant selected only, I question, only on the grounds that the consultant has a conflict of interest or other disqualifying event.
Which would be?
What was this?
Who knows?
Yeah.
Who
The
knows? They could
applicant may-
have, they could have,
Hold on, hold on.
Yeah.
No. Just give us a scenario. That's all. What's your?
See, I don't want to give this, and no offense to any select board member, but I don't think you want to leave it too loose, because conflict of interest is governed by state law. There are there are lists of conflict of interest. Other that would give a select board carte blanche to basically disqualify somebody simply because they have an axe to grind.
No. So I got another. Why would it even go to here? Why would it go to the select board versus the planning board?
I was gonna ask that, why, I noticed any other time, it's always, the
Because of-
planning board has,
Because they've already come to
They've
us.
already, yeah.
Yeah.
This is beyond.
And the applicant may not be happy with, because
What the decision of the
yeah,
planning board.
because
so
someone appeals a planning
Okay.
board decision to the ZBA,
why.
so.
Right.
so the planning board decision, so they can't come to planning board, they.
The planning board says whatever.
How does someone appeals the planning board decision to the ZBA?
Yes.
You have to appeal that.
If they don't agree, say the planning board makes a site plan review decision and the denial or whatever. Same thing, the ZBA hears appeals to the building commissioner's decision. They also appeal planning board decisions to the ZBA because they're a quasi judicial board.
Okay. Okay. No.
Like for instance, when I was in Rentham, we the planning board approved something, and a butter came in, and luckily the ZBA chair was standing right there talking to me at the time, and he said, "Don't waste your time appealing it, because unless the planning board's process was done illegally or something was done wrong, we're not in the business of overturning a planning board decision unless there was something functionally wrong with the process,
yeah.
like the public hearing wasn't advertised properly, things like that."
Didn't they appeal the selection of the outside consultant?
I can think of one reason that somebody might want to go to the Douglas Planning Board. The planning board said, you know what, we're going to hire the most expensive person to review these things that we possibly can find, because now we're going to be able to slow things down and stop it. It's going to cost too damn much money. And I think that's a good reason to complain.
Okay.
So I think what she said should be in it.
okay, it's back in.
What do you think, Colin?
I agree.
Yeah.
I agree, because my
that a
thought
line?
process
Yeah.
on the line is
Yeah.
that
Or other
if I have experience with
disqualifying.
Oh, yeah, or other, yeah,
one
no,
engineer
conflict of interest or other.
less than earlier was,
Yeah.
they'll
Let's
design
on
something knowing that it's gonna trigger other, the plans will come back and say, no, go back and look at this, change that. So they specifically don't add a lot of stuff, so they get their money on the
Right.
revisions, like 3 times going back to a meeting. When they could have had it done
Yeah.
initially, they were.
But
I mean,
how do you prove that though?
Oh, I've seen it.
I know,
but I think put it in there. You can go and say, how come your guy charges this much, and the whole engineer has to go out there on the property with all the transits and everything that's only charging.
So we're going to back up.
Yeah, let's back
So,
up.
no, hold
Margaret
on.
just says.
So most of our projects, we have an agreement between the applicant and the planning board on who we're going to choose. If you say,
that's right.
I have a fine time using Mr. Smith, because we brought it up. Do you have a problem with using Mr. Smith? No, I don't.
Exactly.
So it goes to Mr. Smith.
Yeah.
We don't
So-
go and say, this guy is definitely going to do it. We always discuss an agreement
Yes.
before any of our projects.
Is that in here?
On
I was
who,
gonna say, is that?
In here?
is that-
Yeah,
I was
on the
looking for
part of that.
I was
Where?
looking for that at the beginning of that, say, under maybe a mutual agreement between the applicant and the
Right.
planning board, before it gets to the.
I thought we had it in, I know we do it on all our other stuff, because we,
Well, I agree, but right now, we
Yeah,
have
okay.
sensible people on the planning board, but you don't know if you're always going to have sensible people.
So here's the other thing.
Yeah.
In such an instance, the consulting engineer will provide a scope of services that includes a cost estimate that must be provided by the applicant through the review process. So they're giving you what the approximate cost is going to be up front.
Right, but it doesn't say that they can't charge You know, I see some of
So-
what we're paying these, our house costs is and everything, how much that is.
So,
Yeah.
on that first sentence there, hey, on that first sentence on number 7, so at the end,
So by mutual agreement? So
Yeah.
by mutual
by
agreement?
mutual agreement with the planning board and the applicant,
Yep.
Because like I said, we already know
right?
it.
And then, again, and that then sets up right below where if you don't have the agreement, would then trigger the appeal. But Margaret had a good line on the appeal.
So you're saying let's by mutual agreement under that first?
Yeah, at the end of the first sentence, so to advise the at the expense of the applicant, by mutual agreement between the planning board and the applicant.
Yeah. And then if they don't have a mutual agreement for some reason or anything like that,
Right, that's fair.
then the applicant can appeal, which now is a thing, and then Margaret, your line for the appeal at the end?
At the very end, or other disqualifying event. We all know that some engineering firms are much better than others. And I guess you wouldn't really want if, you know,
Let's not, we don't need to get
we're not mentioning names.
out of the weeds, I know. We know there's been a bumpy road, you know, in the neighboring towns, so.
Well, no, I mean, if I was an applicant and somebody was reviewing my whatever, I would want, yeah,
Listen, hey.
the qualified engineer.
Well,
I
that's why
can
we
say-
have it.
I agree. I see it in my
There'll be an
15
agreement between both parties.
In 15 years, I've seen some questions, yeah, some
The applicant knows it.
questions, so
They're
it's
not-
all good.
The outcome's not gonna be good.
I've never seen a planning board pick a purposely more expensive consultant.
No, it's
No,
not.
but you don't, it just sets
I don't
up.
even remember some years.
I don't even know their
Yeah.
rates.
There's good years here that
Yeah.
happened many
Yeah.
times.
So anyways, number D, public hearings. No, so, 2 weeks, first
I know what
publication.
you're talking about, Colin.
Yep. All right. We good with D, with the public hearings?
Should be all standard.
No. Okay, planning board shall, or E. Shall. So they have 90 days to act upon the.
Yes.
Okay. All right.
That can be extended by,
The
again,
applicant.
mutual agreement, yeah.
Yeah. I don't think
No, are we done with E?
D. Yeah.
No,
Did you want to? Oh, E. Yeah.
E, I thought we might want to put F, we talked about this at the last meeting.
Yep.
The issued stormwater permit to be recorded at the registry of deeds.
Yeah. Yeah. Because, yeah, the issued.
Because we talked about whoever buys this property
Correct.
10 years down the road will know
Yeah.
that there's a stormwater permit issued for this
Correct.
job, and that's the only way to do it.
And we talked, because we talked about it being very similar to conservation, right? So you have your
All you have to do.
no, but you record your conservation thing, and then you go back and get a certificate of compliance that was built, and you still would record that. Do you know what I mean? So you get your
Well, here, just for example, here's the Uxbridge
Yeah.
stormwater permit. That gets
Right.
recorded
Yeah.
at the registry of deeds.
Yep.
Okay, and then you have to go back later, certificate of completion,
Compliance.
which I think we talk about that in the
Yeah.
regs. Agree?
So how does it say they're gonna match? So that, the application,
This is the permit that's issued in Uxbridge, just a one-page thing, or maybe it might be 2 pages.
yeah,
This just gets recorded at the registry of deeds.
and that's it.
yeah.
Yeah.
So nothing else.
That ties to the plan. That
Okay.
was good thing. It's very similar to like a notice of intent that you'd
So-
file with conservation, and then what they do
You
is
don't have 30 pages
yeah,
of
yeah, yeah. It's not
conditions.
thick. It's 1 page, and then but it ties to the plan and everything like that.
Okay.
Then you got to get a certificate of compliance when the stormwater system's been implemented and built. That paper trail, the advantage is, one, the certificate of compliance shows that it was completed.
Yeah.
2, it shows that there is a stormwater system on the property,
Correct.
so it helps.
So it's two recordings, this one,
Yeah.
the permit and the
Yeah.
certificate of compliance.
Yeah.
Finished,
Final,
correct.
Okay, okay.
Yep.
That's why I was trying to tie that together.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the only way I could, explain it was very similar
Oh,
concept.
we already have this in there, page 14,
Yeah.
Margaret.
Oh,
I know we talked about it.
Section 16B3.
Yeah.
The certificate must be recorded with the Worcester County Registry of Deeds with proof of recording provided to the planning board.
Okay, very good, very
We
good,
already
take
have
that out.
Well, that's a certificate of completion, not the plan, or not the permit.
so yeah, you'd want F here to,
All right,
All right,
F's back.
F back.
All right.
Keep F,
We were back in with the
Yeah, the
permit.
issue of the permit to be
Okay.
recorded.
Permit.
and then flip the page, and then it's, after it's all done, certificate.
okay.
Yeah, okay, 8, section 8, plan modifications. The only thing I got a question for, John, is it says on the second paragraph in 8, the planning board shall take final actions within 30 days of receiving change and alteration.
Yeah. Well, because the change or alteration, I mean, 90 days is a long. If it's it's an alteration.
I know, but you say within 30 days. Here's my concern with it, is,
Business days.
I know, but think about if someone, a modification, right? So if they came in and said it had a modification or alteration, and it was significant, what happened if they didn't have, the board or the consultant engineer didn't have enough time? See, it says
It's up to
within.
you.
It says within. Are you within 30 days? I'd feel more comfortable with like within 60 days or 45 days or something.
But you know what, if you put 30 days, then they'll try to get it done in 30 days. If they can't get it done in 30
You can
days, they'll
extend it.
ask for
Okay.
the applicant to give them an extension.
Yeah.
And what's the applicant gonna
Unless-
say? You're either gonna be denied, or
Right.
you're gonna give us the extension.
Unless such time is extended by agreement between the
Right,
applicant
so
and the
there you
planning
go.
board.
Okay, all right.
Put that there.
All right.
Yeah, we did
I just
that
get worried about
nowadays.
short runways.
Well, but to Carol's point, you want to keep
Okay.
the
No,
planning
I agree.
board moving.
Agreed.
Yeah.
Okay.
No offense to this planning board, but you want to keep it
Right.
moving.
Yeah, because you
All right.
could have it then just
Are we
sitting
good
on a
with,
table somewhere for 3
A, B, and
months.
C on the bottom? The modifications? Disapproval? I think that's all.
Oh, actually, you know what? All right, never mind. The other appeal was for the consultant to the select board. This is appeal of the actual decision.
Modification,
Yeah.
Decision,
Okay.
yeah.
So that goes. So this doesn't go to the ZBA. This
So-
would go to a court.
So
Yeah.
could you put on number,
Correct.
could you put number 9, just change the header? The appeal of the planning board's decision?
Appeal of decision.
Yeah, or appeal of decision?
Yeah.
What are you doing there?
Number 9, just a header?
Yep.
And it's the appeal of the decision?
Yep.
Number 9. It would just, instead of appeal,
Yeah.
I want to make sure it's just clear that it's appealing the decision,
Decision, yeah.
okay? Number 10. Number 10.
So we're gonna do anything where it's to be completed within 3 years from date of approval.
Yep.
If not, is the permit revoked without,
No, the permit may be extended in 1 additional year.
maybe, but what if, say, somebody walks away from it, or there's nobody to come in and ask for an extension? What's gonna happen?
So what?
It
It
expires.
should be,
Expires.
it should expire and be revoked, and a new one resubmitted, or
Yeah.
how are we gonna do that?
If it expires, it's already, it's revoked. If it expires, it's no good.
Yes.
Okay, I'm just
Yeah.
making sure.
Yeah.
So project is approved. It's not completed in 3 years for date of approval. Could you put date of commencement? So when they start,
No.
when they wait?
Because you could wait 3 years and go ahead
Right.
and do it, now you got a
Yeah.
6-year project.
No, yeah.
That's not what we want.
Yeah.
It's 3 years from approval, and then if you want an extension, we can grant one.
Right, but I think you can only grant one an extension on certain things. I don't know if this falls under that category.
Then don't come in with the.
No, you can grant multiple
Yeah.
extensions.
We've
Yeah.
done that, I know, on earth removal
Yep.
and stuff.
I know there's some you can only grant
No.
one time. I'm
Nope.
not sure how this
Yeah.
would fall.
Yeah. Otherwise, you could pull one permit and drag it out for 10 years, and-
Yeah.
which we don't want.
Well, commencement
That's on
meeting,
11?
once we've started it, it would have to be done in 3 years.
So-
Yeah, but they could
Right,
wait
but
3 years
they
to
can
start
wait
it.
3-4
That's
years
the
to start
problem.
it. So you don't want that.
Refers to the DEP Stormwater Management Standards and Handbook. That
Just like the
covers it all.
Douglas Sutton project. What's it been?
All right.
3-4 years?
Yeah.
They haven't cut a tree yet.
Yeah.
But they haven't disturbed the land, so they're not
That's
causing a
what I'm
problem.
that's what I'm
Yeah.
thinking, is there's no issue.
If they haven't,
No,
if they haven't,
this is worded, I think, perfect.
you know,
Because then, I mean, if somebody comes in, say the economy
Tanks out.
Yeah.
So you come in and
Well,
ask
they
for
come
an
in and ask for
extension.
extension, yeah.
That's all you gotta do.
Yeah, we've
And
had
then
that
we'll
happen, yep. Plus, you have the Permanent Extension Act that's happened 3 times. They gave
Yeah.
automatic
Yeah.
2-year extensions without having to come
Okay.
before the
Yeah.
board, so.
Yep. All right, number 11, I think we're good. Margaret took a look at it. Let's get all the.
Just
items in there.
refers to the state stormwater handbook, which covers it all.
Number 12, I think, is the plan content, which is,
Self-explanatory.
So when we go on to the next page,
yep.
so I think a lot of this stuff, I don't know if we need it. I mean, this is all in the
Oh,
stormwater.
yes, please tell me we can delete stuff,
I
that's
w- I
awesome.
would- You know,
Well, let's start here. You got 2 1s. Okay?
I
On
think
page,
we.
Page 8,
yeah.
you got a 1.
We
Wait,
we can get rid of
Okay,
that
wait,
second
and
one.
then you got another 1, or that's, sorry, that's an L.
that's an L. Come on.
Oh.
Yeah. Oh, change the pages. It looks.
I think
That's a
from,
lowercase L.
Right.
I think from L all the way down to number 2 can all be eliminated. That's all in the stormwater.
So
Handbook.
you're talking L through Q can
Yeah.
all be deleted?
Yeah, because you know they talk about the
I like
runoff
that.
curve number. You know that's
Yeah.
in the stormwater
reg.
handbook. Time of concentration, the stormwater handbook, all that stuff's
Does
in the
everyone
storm.
agree with Margaret?
I agree.
What about the idea
That's
of
just her cup of tea.
drainage area map showing pre and post
It's
construction?
in the,
Down
it's
to
all required
It's all
under
required.
the,
She said
all
it's
under
all-
the stormwater
That's what you do, I mean, you know.
Yeah.
Yep.
We're gonna get this down to 3 pages.
There you go.
We're good with all that?
And I've got to leave in 6 minutes.
Oh, that's fine.
I've got to stop.
You
them from
flying
spend-
somewhere?
I'm going next
Even
door,
though?
so stop them from spending all your money.
Oh, boy.
Your
Just
tax
about
money.
the ground
good.
with runoff
Yeah.
coefficients, that's all part of the stormwater
Okay,
standard. So
excellent.
Number 2?
L right down to Q is
Okay, it's gone. All right.
How about 2, the erosion sediment control plan? Can anything come out of there that you can see?
Well, isn't that's kind of one of the key things we're trying to protect, so I would leave that alone.
Okay. How about 3, the O&M plan? Do you have any omissions for that? Or deletions
Can
there?
you just drop the, eliminate the space between 3 and in addition? So it formats the same.
Yes, Les, I can do it.
I'm trying to keep the format the same. I don't want people to say there's something missing there.
What are you trying to hide?
Exactly. You know?
Yeah,
Some of them might be a little redundant with the stormwater, but I think, like I say,
Okay.
is what we're trying to protect here. So operation and maintenance and,
Okay.
All right.
Wow.
Section 13, surety.
oh,
you go- you- hold on, we gotta back up.
one other thing.
Page
So
11.
H, and it goes, maintenance inspections shall occur annually, or 1 time per year, maybe, or it should be semi-annually, or as
Well, I think I
designated.
talked to Adam about that. We discussed it, and you asked me to follow up with Adam.
Yeah.
And usually they're annually.
Well, how about, okay, annually or as designated in the permit? I mean, some projects may require more inspections depending upon the terrain and how
Well-
much is getting disturbed. I mean, if you
Yeah.
only do once a year, it could be,
yeah.
Well,
9 months too
here's
late.
the thing. I would take shall occur annually or one time per year. Isn't 1 time per year and annually the
Yes.
same thing? I'm just throwing a curveball at me here.
so how about just occur annually or as designated in the permit?
Yeah.
I
Okay.
think that would be site-specific,
Yeah.
correct?
Yep.
Yeah.
It could be, yeah.
Okay.
Or as determined in the permit.
Because it does say at a minimum, so the board could say,
Yeah.
yeah, we want it done monthly.
Yeah, yeah.
what was the final language?
I would say as determined in
Yeah.
the permit
Yeah, take out, yeah.
Inspection shall occur annually
slash
/
Yeah.
as determined in the permit. Or,
Keep-
or,
keep-
or,
No, we're
sorry,
not doing
or
slashes. We're more professional than doing slashes, come on.
Or-
eliminate the whole site.
correct, just, yeah, that 1 year, because that was repetitive. Anything else, Margaret? No. I see a little more red in there, no, you good?
Oh, I see, I see, I see,
Margaret,
I see another
I'll
space I
leave
have to eliminate on page 12. The suspension or revocation, I have to eliminate that space after.
Is master planning next week?
Yes.
Okay. All right, I'll see you next week.
So surety? Margaret, yeah?
Yes.
Stay out of trouble over there.
Who, me?
Yeah, you.
No, I cause as much trouble there as I do over here.
That's your middle name.
Keep us on our toes.
Yeah.
Okay. What do you got for surety?
Thank
Number
you.
number
See you,
13,
Carol, yeah.
surety.
Thank you.
All right.
Yeah, this language is consistent with our subdivision regs.
Yeah.
In fact, we just talked about this at the last meeting about phase plans and how they can be released if that phase is complete.
So what is obliging penal sign? What is-
Oh, that's a legal term.
We figured that out last
Yeah.
Yeah, we good. I go through it. I go through it.
Watch the tape, because we're all like, I was like, what is this?
I don't know.
I thought it was a typo.
Penalty, yeah.
I know.
Hold on.
It's a very simple thing.
Term,
with
it's
a
funky word.
Crazy word, yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Obliging penal sign.
Hold on, let me see. Oblige.
yeah, because remember I did that. You're, oh, that's
I forget who questioned it, but it might have been me or whatever, Jake, but it just took me a little, I'm like, what is that?
Yeah. But then we read it and it's all right, yeah, that makes sense.
It refers to a legal agreement, often a surety bond, where a party pledges a specific maximum amount of money, the penal sum to be paid to another party if they fail to perform a contractual obligation.
Yeah. Some lawyer language.
yeah.
Penal, penalty.
that makes sense.
It's like a penalized sum,
That's what I was
Yeah.
trying to.
like triple damages.
If project is-
That makes sense, okay. Thank you.
One of the board may release the upfront bond. I think 13 is. You guys are good with that? I don't know. Clean page there, Margaret.
We went over a lot of this stuff
I know.
the last time you got.
Yeah.
Enforcement, section 14.
Yeah, we went through a lot of that.
Yeah. Yeah, that was this is all part of the discussion we just had
Yeah.
at the last meeting.
Yep.
So Margaret shouldn't have any
I
red.
don't.
Well, unless there's a typo.
No, I don't have any more. That's the end of it.
Nice.
All right.
Yeah.
You got page 13,
Yep.
section 15.
Inspections.
Pre-construction.
So in section C,
Yep.
on that, the discretion of doing the periodic inspections, would this be the appropriate spot to put in? I know we talked about during the bylaw, and then we're gonna put in the regulations about entering property and putting in that they have to give a certain amount of notice. I know it was, we had talked about being 48 hours notice with consent to enter someone's property.
Isn't it when somebody files an application, you're kind of given?
Yeah.
This is a courtesy?
If I apply for a permit,
Yeah.
that, if I call and ask for the inspection, then I'm inviting them. But if I don't call and ask, I'm just showing
You're right,
up.
because during construction of a subdivision, it's implied that the planning board and agents shall have the right to monitor the project
Correct.
and enter the property.
Correct.
But you're right, inspections are a little bit different once it's done.
Yeah, to Colin's point, I would agree that
Yeah.
it's coordination. You know what I mean? It would be unfair to any applicant, right, in any situation that they're in the process of putting a stormwater system in, and someone swings over at 7 o'clock and walks through and inspects and stuff like that without the applicant being there.
Right, yeah.
So how about this? I add a sentence
Number
that the planning board or its designee shall request access to the property for the purpose of inspection a minimum of 48 hours prior to. Does that work?
Yeah.
Just like, you know.
It's a courtesy.
I mean, and the courtesy of the applicant,
Yeah.
he may want to clean things up, he's got,
Correct.
you know, some crap he wants to make it look
Yeah.
good.
The stuff he wants to hide.
No.
Oh, I gotta bury this.
A deer stand.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah,
And
that makes
should
sense.
I mean, you gotta hide a few things, yeah.
Yeah, there you go.
So let me.
What's that blue tarp over there?
So I'm gonna play devil's advocate.
Oh, God.
Yeah.
Always the devil in you.
I'm calling here, and you're in Florida or whatever.
Yep.
And something's going on in the property. You left. It's not all complete. Well, you ain't gonna be around for 48 hours.
Right.
But this
I
is-
think
this is-
Usually it's owner or agent.
Correct. But
Or
this,
representative.
but this
Yes.
is this is
On this, you know what I mean, so that it's worded correctly,
yeah.
so that,
All owners agent.
or if in the case of an emergency, say you build a retention pond, and all of a sudden it's overflowing.
Right.
That agent should be able to go on the property
Hold on.
without calling anybody.
Well, hold on.
Well,
Unless there is an emergency,
Deemed
a
emergency.
deemed emergency that is a threat to public health.
Okay.
Yeah,
That
that way it's
poses-
covered because
Yeah,
we've.
yeah.
we've
I think.
Property damage. So.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Public health,
Yeah.
public safety.
Yeah. There has to be some sense of urgency why you enter.
Correct.
Okay. I mean,
Okay.
I think that's a.
I mean, it's a fair question, I mean, we've seen it.
I still don't know if that would legally uphold. If someone says, you know, this posted sign that says no trespass. And a lot of this, like with the site plan review on the bigger project, you know, it's usually, there's always a lot of communication. I'm thinking the smaller, the guy that's putting in his horse thing in his backyard and just doesn't want somebody walking on the property and
Sure.
showing up. at any-
But if he's doing
Right.
this project and all of a sudden the road next to him is being flooded out
Right.
because of his project,
Right.
you gotta do it now.
Right.
It isn't like we're gonna sit here and watch you flood out
Well,
the road for 2
that's
days.
like when there's a private road
Yeah.
that the town doesn't normally maintain. If there's an emergency situation
Correct.
that they have to have it plowed,
They just
the
do
town
it.
has the right to go in and plow
Yeah.
it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It'd be the same
Yeah.
thing,
All the time,
under an
yeah.
emergency situation.
The town applies.
Yeah, I just want to
Plow
balance
private roads
you know,
anyways.
people's-
Some towns do,
people's
some towns
property
don't.
rights.
But I'm just saying, if it weren't
Right.
something that the town maintained or normally maintained, in an emergency
It's-
situation, they would have to.
It's dual, I know what you're saying, but it's dual acting. You pull a permit, you're agreeing to terms.
Right.
So by you pulling, it's one thing if you're not doing anything, but you just pull a permit, agreeing to terms that you're supposed to maintain certain entities. And if you're not, and you're creating an issue to the public, that defaults this whole thing, and that has to get fixed. You just can't let it go.
I think the emergency aspect.
Right.
You gotta. I think having the word emergency to the public thing.
Yeah.
Is a big thing a big hurdle that someone can't just walk on.
Correct.
You mean?
Oh, I
because
don't, right, I wouldn't want somebody just walking on.
Right.
but-
But a casual, like, you want to just inspect it, just to see how it's going. Yeah, that makes sense for the 48 hours.
Yeah.
Sure,
100%.
definitely.
I mean, because that's a
Well, because
courtesy.
It's happened before. And
Well,
I
yeah,
know,
yeah.
and
I 100%.
Yeah,
I
well,
agree with you.
and I think those situations, you know what I mean, in any community, causes unnecessary, a pot to boil. You know what I mean, in any meeting or any situation, because for the applicant as well as the board, you know what I mean, because then you say, wait a second, you know, he was up in Maine hunting and you walked on the property. You know what I mean? You didn't give him 48 hours notice that you were going to walk on the property, and you took all these pictures, and now you're coming before a board. That's why I think it has to be more of an emergency in the 48 hours.
Right, because-
Just because it's just not fair to the applicant in any situation.
You gotta look at it, and like I said, I'm looking at it both sides.
Yeah.
But there again, the applicant doesn't have the right to damage my property
No, no,
because
no.
of his neglect. And then say you gotta wait 48 hours. to
Correct,
fix
correct,
it.
correct. That-
Do something
again,
about it. So in other words, by you pulling a permit and you doing something, all of a sudden, we have a severe rain.
Yeah.
Now you're flooding my property and wiping out my basement? And nothing's gonna be done? Yeah, okay, let's see how far that goes. You know
No,
what I mean? And that's where you gotta look at it both sides.
I think
Legal would kick in at that point.
correct. I think the merger
I
something
think,
like that.
what we added and what's in
Yeah.
there, I think it
Let's see what that looks
I
like.
still think that,
Close,
we might want to run that by council, because I think we don't want to put in something.
Correct.
Sending somebody else.
Well, he's going to send it off to the council after we get input for anyways.
Just to make sure that.
I'm just saying,
Right, John?
you got a fine
Yes.
line
Yeah.
there
Don't
when
wanna
you're
vote.
trying to
Yeah.
destroy somebody else's property, you're gonna destroy it?
All right.
Yeah.
You guys ready?
You're your own property
I
owner.
understand.
You have the right to.
Okay, guys.
Your own property.
All right,
D?
all right.
D.
Yes.
Number D. So we covered this in our last meeting, and I think this just really gives that the planning board may use, the surety bonds to complete work. It also gives the planning board the ability to kind of.
Well, this is where your issue comes up, Mike, is they can issue a stop work order,
Yeah,
basically.
Sure, oh, yeah,
Yeah, yeah.
yeah.
Yep.
No, I read that earlier, yeah.
Ooh. So you guys good with number page 14?
Yeah.
Why is it not red, bolded?
Well, I can.
That was I
Yeah.
think that was a Margaret.
Did it have to be in the capitals?
I don't know.
You want to put it in quotes or something?
Whatever, yeah.
You got it bolded and it's probably.
I got no reason, leave it that way. That way there you see it and you know it.
Yeah,
Okay.
just
Why
turn it
not?
red, turn it
If you,
red.
guys,
You're all set.
if you guys are good with it,
I'm good with it.
okay. And I mean, majority of rules, right? So
Yes.
we're all good if that's the case.
They can't miss it.
Yeah.
Section? I just want to check something. Good to know. All right. You good with that section?
Yeah, I'm good.
Any other
Yeah,
changes in
nothing.
16?
We got through the whole thing?
No, we're not there yet. We're on 14.
Oh, come on.
You
We
mean?
were just there.
No, all of us are speed readers.
So you get a process, you get
Correct.
like you skip right over stuff, you don't think.
Yeah.
Think things through. That's why it's always good to go back.
Okay. I'm glad we put in section 16, B3 there, that we do cover that all there. So that was a good catch by this group.
You wrote that.
Yeah.
Failure to maintain.
Yeah, failure to maintain.
14.
Yeah.
So you can go right off. You're agreeing to it.
Original Pine Fields refused to meet the requirements.
And the planning board may assess the owner of the facility for the cost of the repair work, which shall be a lien on the property. They do the
That's
same.
after it's completed.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, so the time we're going on the property, that also is another way where somebody could go on the property.
All right.
Yeah, after 30 days written notice.
Yeah,
Yeah.
That's what
if you refuse to do anything.
Yeah. Yeah, and at least that gives an applicant coming before the board within 30 days, saying,
Yeah.
hey, here's my schedule.
Correct.
Maybe they can't do something, but they can at least go to
Yeah.
before
Yeah.
Yeah,
a board and say, here's my plan of action.
most
You know?
definitely, yeah.
So, it's some maybe communication lines, that's the key. So, are you guys good with page 14?
Thank you, John.
Oh, you're welcome. No, thank you, guys. We're at the 1 yard line.
Give it a chance to- Page 15. Yeah, we're gonna have 14 pages probably, we'll have some cutting up that
Yes.
section.
I like that.
I don't know if these are...
Even this, it's in good detail and it isn't that big,
No.
considering what it's
Oh,
doing.
Uxbridge is 25 pages.
Well, I know,
so, yeah,
that's what
so
I'm
that's,
saying,
I
yeah.
think we did a pretty good job keeping it to
Whittling
14.
down and keeping it to the point.
We need, on section 18, right? Any version of the sections of the paragraphs that says there shall be...
That's the exact same verbiage as the bylaw.
Yes. Yep.
That's why that is what it is. The
Yeah.
bylaw,
That's standard, yeah.
That's all.
We went over that at last meeting, remember?
Yeah.
There was a few things, I said, just go by the bylaw, we made it verbatim.
Yeah, that's put in when we add in a new section to the zoning bylaw.
Yeah.
All right.
Yep.
You all
So,
good?
we have a meeting on the 25th, so what do you want to do?
February 25th?
So the only thing that's hanging is the first page.
Just some changes, yeah,
first
just some
thing.
edits,
Some
yeah.
edits.
Well, that was
Oh,
the
yeah.
question,
Yeah.
was the,
Yeah, well, we can
Or
wait until
any
we
other town
re-adjourn
Yeah.
and stuff like that. So when's, do we want to send, you're going to do the edits and then send it maybe to the planning board for their first review? And maybe we,
Well, one other thing we should do is, we should prepare an application, correct?
Sample it.
sample
What,
out
with an
And-
application?
So, I'm just
Oh,
looking
yes,
at
yeah,
Uxbridge
yeah.
here, okay? So they have a,
They should have
Yeah.
one to
they
go
have an,
with
app-
this.
they have an application with a checklist,
Yeah.
okay, which I thought was pretty good.
Yep.
And then they have a permit.
Yep.
So there's two forms we need to
Yep.
do. Application, permit,
Yep,
that coincides with us.
that's fine.
So I wonder if you could get this, I don't know if you had a chance to look at this.
No, I
yet.
haven't had a chance to get into that detail.
If
Yeah.
we could, even if we could get a Word
Yeah,
document from
that's fine.
Uxbridge.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, I, honestly, Margaret, I can just retype that onto our letterhead, it's not a big deal. I've had to do that with a lot of updating planning board forms.
if,
Do you want to,
Yeah,
want
you-
this?
you know.
So save you-
and then the only thing we have to do is make sure that those forms align with the regs and stuff like that, if the application ties in. And then, it may be worthwhile, maybe what was helpful is maybe look at it and do some calcs on numbers.
So the
and
next
stuff like that.
meeting, we have a planning board meeting at 7 that night, so we do have to stay within an hour.
Yeah, do you wanna give the draft copy of this regs for that meeting on the 25th to the planning board?
I can?
Give them at least a month to digest
Yeah.
it, you know? And then we could look at the edits and the cleanups on the 25th, and then we can reconvene at another date.
Yep.
Does that make sense? We all good with that?
Yeah.
Good.
All right, cool.
Motion to adjourn?
Motion by Mike,
second.
second by Jake.
I knew I liked you, Mike.
All right, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.